Hi, Attorney Adam Diamond here with another Diamond tip. This tip is all about doorbells. I know, this does not sound like the most exciting topic in the world, but if I mentioned that we have had a few closing table battles involving ring or digital doorbells, the issue may ring a bell. See what I did there? Anyway, the doorbell issues we are seeing involve sellers either taking their doorbell when they shouldn't or forgetting to disconnect their digital account after the closing. First, let's talk about when the seller can take their fancy doorbell with them. If the seller does not specify otherwise in the contract, or their brilliant attorney doesn't bring it up during attorney review, a doorbell that is physically attached to the house is usually considered a fixture and should not be removed prior to the closing. Now let me back up 10 steps and explain the legal context behind all of this and why we care about fixtures. When you sell real estate, you are selling the physical home and whatever additional personal property is mutually agreed upon between the buyer and the seller in the contract. The most common disputes or disagreements between sellers and buyers at the closing table are usually about personal property that was supposed to stay or go. For sellers, they frequently think that the pool table in the basement or the hot tub on the back porch are wonderful gifts for the buyers, and many buyers see these things as pieces of junk that they have to pay someone else to remove after the closing. The result sometimes is World War III at the closing table and job security for the real estate lawyers to come to some sort of reasonable compromise. Now this issue comes up so frequently that when we do intake for buyers or sellers, we always ask them to look at the personal property section of the contract and verify that everything listed there is what's supposed to be given to the buyer or stay with the property. This frequently triggers the buyer's or seller's memory on something that they talked about or an assumption they were making, and then we can clean it up in attorney review. So that's why it's really important to be very clear on what's supposed to stay and what's supposed to go. If the buyer and seller are fighting about personal property and nothing's listed in the contract, the first thing we try to figure out is if the item is a fixture included with the sale of the house or if it's personal property that was not included. An easy rule to remember about fixtures is if you need to turn a screw to remove something, it's usually considered a fixture. Now, let's get back to the doorbell. When a buyer walks up to their dream home and they see the fancy digital doorbell, they usually assume it comes with the house. The sellers, on the other hand, assume the buyer will bring their own doorbell and replace it with a little $10 Home Depot or Menards special. As you probably guessed, the doorbell is usually physically attached to the home and is considered a fixture that comes with the property. If the seller does leave their fancy doorbell, like they should, it's important to remind them to disconnect their digital account either when they move out or when the closing is completed, so they don't end up paying to watch the buyers move into their house. Reminding your seller to disconnect the digital doorbell account is an easy follow-up with them after the closing and remind them that you care about them and are never too busy for their referrals. So, the point of this diamond tip, get it? Diamond tip, point, is when in doubt, especially when it comes to personal property, spell it out in the contract. Or have your friendly neighborhood attorney clarify things in attorney review, especially when it comes to the fancy digital doorbell. Hopefully you found this diamond tip useful. Don't forget, our team at Diamond Real Estate Law is ready to help you with your next deal in McHenry or Lake County. If you're ready to send over a contract, you can just send it over to adam@dlfirm.com and we'll take care of all the rest. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.